no respect for tradition.
Welcome to The Pull Bags, Back Issue Classics. Join us as we talk about comics from yesteryear, from DC, Marvel, and more. So open your ears to hear our discussion of the older continuities, as the Back Issue Classics are also what's in The Pull Bag.
Hot damn, I'm Ryan Ferrier, and you're listening to the GCRN's comic podcast, The Pullback. In this episode, Mike and Nicole have joined us in Hale. How bizarre is that? Hear them talk about my new series from IDW Publishing entitled Hot Damn, only on the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to The Pullback. This is Back Issue Classics, episode 72 for Back Issue Classics, and I don't remember the last time I had this guest on. It was the Gem Show, duh. Duh. Changes.
Changes.
Yep. For crap. I'm, of course, TF2 and Mike. Joining me is Nicole, BeatlesDiva, HailStorm. Hello.
Bonjour. Aloha. Gracias. No, that's thank you. I'm totally off.
One of these things isn't like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong here.
I meant hola, not gracias. Also, gracias. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Oh, damn. It's hot damn, folks, and it's the final two issues in one podcast, issues 4 and 5. This series I wasn't sure where this was going after issue 3 when we did that one. We recorded and released issue 3 back in July, so it's been
a while.
3.5 months since we did one of these. I actually had to go back and look at the end of issue 3.
Oh, I did too. I'm like, okay, it's been a while. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
Good refresher. So it's the start of the second coming. Is what happened.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The story, wow. Ryan, Valentin on the art. I've never seen art this great for a story like this.
I like how gory it gets.
Well, you do like a lot of gore, so...
Yeah, it happens.
Notice, folks, I said a lot of gore, not Al Gore, because he's no longer relevant, I don't think.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Oh, warming.
I did not. Oh wait, that's the other guy. I was gonna say I did not have relations with that.
That was the other Clinton.
Yeah. Oh God, they're gonna end up calling him Madam President. All right, so hot damn, issue 4. We're gonna start with issue 4, okay. Obviously. Written by Ryan Ferrier, as I said, illustrated by Valentin Ramon. Editing on this is done by David Hedgecock, and obviously IDW's publisher is Ted Adams. And we start off with somebody eating a corn dog.
That's the fallen angel.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's Adriel.
What's his name?
Adriel.
Addy or
Adriel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's...
So he's fallen angel. He's fallen to Earth. So he's experiencing life. So. As a human, so he gets a corn dog. Yep. Yay!
I love the. It's not. Oh no, it's not that. It's not this part. It's the other. I don't know if it's the same church, but they have two different churches in these two issues, and one of them has a very classic line that we all know, folks. Hint, keyword there is no, because knowing is... Don't say it. This later.
The other half is lasers.
Yeah. Red laser, blue laser. Yep. Alright, so Adriel comes in and basically tells them he's an angel and he's going to make their lives better. And we see Teddy going to Maria's, and Teddy is still all kinds of screwed up from when Imogen did the spell wrong and whatever else from the last issue. And Maria just kind of drops her coffee. And no, folks, that's not euphemism for anything. Sorry, I'm on, as of this recording, I'm on like episode 5 of Luke Cage, and they used the hot coffee joke all throughout that show.
I
Even though
haven't watched it yet.
it's, well, that's not a spoiler, but the running gag is, hey, you want to go get a cup of coffee? I really don't like coffee. Me neither. So that's, yeah. So Teddy goes into Maria's house, and she's all freaked out because he looks like crap, obviously, and
he just rose from the dead.
Yeah.
In his old body. That's been in the ground with the worms and maggots and...
See, this... What I love about Ryan Ferrier and Valentin Ramon is Ryan writes stuff and Valentin illustrates and draws and colors stuff that brings up a lot of issues, and a lot of issues I thought I would never say on a podcast. I'm so being cremated. So Maria is obviously freaked the hell out that Teddy and his dead body are there. She basically smacks him. She almost cuts him open with a knife. And as we go along here, we go back. Now, what do you think of the juxtaposition of the art here between Teddy and Maria? Because it's essentially, it's on Earth, it's in her apartment, but he's a dead body.
Well, the art's beautiful. I like the coloring.
Yeah.
Because Teddy is so off compared. She kind of blends with her surroundings,
Right.
And then, yeah, Teddy's ugh. Missing nose is what gets to me. It's like,
because he has to talk like this.
I was wondering how he sounds. So I don't blame her because I mean, you don't want to see your dead husband rise from the grave and. Ew. You'd be wondering what the hell's going around.
You'd better off being alone all your life.
Exactly.
Sorry, folks. That's a bad callback to something Nicole posted on Facebook recently.
Timely joke.
Yes. Some of those quizzes are just god-awful. And oh God, it's a whole other podcast. But anyway... Yeah, I love the juxtaposition of the colors between him and her and just the overall background of her apartment. We go back to Hale, and Satan has a octopus on his chalkboard. Or what? Well, it's not actually an octopus, but to me it looks like an octopus.
What, on the chalkboard? No, it's a diagram of heaven and hell.
Just the way it's drawn.
Oh, okay.
The way it's drawn.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, as we said earlier, the second coming has came. That's going to be a messy situation right there. And it's basically, God versus Satan, all this stuff. And once again, the colors are amazing in hell and in heaven too. But I mean, Valentin really does, like these panels where Satan's talking, like the one where he says, hell's going to be a lot different by the time we're done. And then the next panel where he says, big things, people, we're doing big things here. Good work. Just the whole, the background colors of the green on the walls and then all the red of the animals and all. Oh man, art is so great.
A lot of fun.
Yep. And he gets a phone call from God.
Because, God has everyone on speed dial.
And every time I see this, every time I see anything do the whole phone call from God, all as I can think of is Dead Poet Society. Mr. Dalton, I heard you had a phone call from God. Yeah. If it had been collected, it would have been daring.
I haven't watched that for so long.
God, I love that movie. And God calls him Lucy.
He hates it.
So does that make God Ricky?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Lucifer is his son, so he basically is, yeah.
Yeah.
Your parents will call you whatever they want.
And I think in the next panel, as we transition from hell to heaven, where God, I assume, is taking a bath.
Yeah, he's in the spa with all the lovely ladies, and his cherubim seraphim taking care of him.
Yep. And one of his lovely ladies is a Know Your Boss pop-up book, and I was so not expecting.
Oh, I did not need to see that. No one needs to see that.
And it gets even worse later when somebody else picks it up. Smacks him right in the face.
Not fun.
It's Ferrier and Ramon, folks. I expect this kind of humor, but at the same time, I was not expecting that to happen. You just have to read it for yourself, folks.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So they are essentially arguing over, the war and everything else and all that stuff. And we get back to Teddy, who is basically going to try to commit suicide, even though he's already dead.
I know. I was wondering if it was going to work. When I first saw this, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if this is going to work," because, like you said, he's already dead, but he's risen again, and so I mean, I kind of understand where he's coming from, though. But I mean, this just one page put so much impact on me because I try to think of what's going on in his mind. His wife doesn't want him. He doesn't want to be in this body. He's brought on a lot of pain and angst, both in heaven and earth and hell. So I was wondering what was going to happen.
Right. Yeah. And the thing about this whole scene is that this is the point in the story that he is still kind of thinking about him. Like the whole time when he goes to see her, he wants forgiveness. He wants her to forgive him so he can become whole again or human or whatever. And he's basically me, and he's not looking out for anybody else other than himself. And that's the point of these final two issues here, folks, is between issue 4 and 5, he has a huge change of perspective. And I think this is where it kind of starts, when he jumps off the bridge and realizes, oh shit, I'm not dead because I'm already dead.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ferrier's writing. Oh, Huck. Wouldn't that technically be Oh Finn?
Huckleberry Finn. Well, I think because he's still thinking back when he was down in hell where they weren't allowed to cuss.
Yeah. So we go to this church, which is the same church that... oh no, I just noticed the LOL. Oh, God. It is the same church from earlier, but except it's nighttime now.
Yeah, they took out all the letters and just put LOL.
I can't wait to see what Ferrier and Ramon do next. I gotta... After we record this episode, I gotta message Ryan on Twitter and see what the heck he and Valentin are up to next, because... Between Dave and these two creators have just reshaped, at least in my perspective, the way comics are all across the board. So Maria goes into the church and she's looking for help, and they're going to help her, but it's not the help she probably deserves. And then we see Adriel again, and we go back to... Oh no, we meet up with Costello. He's being arrested by the pigs. Quite literally, folks. Yeah. We're not making fun of police officers. They're
dildo pigs. Mm-hmm.
Oh God. You talk. I don't even know.
What? You don't know what a dildo is?
Dildo pigs. Oh my God.
You really don't know what a dildo is, really?
No, I'm just saying. This is just, it's just way too much. And then why is there Only Costello would have a Lady Gaga poster.
I like how the last A is like smeared on, so it's Lady Gag.
Lady Gag, yeah. Oh, God.
There's a lot of great background stuff. I mean, if you go back and reread it, there's a lot of great background stuff. Yeah. So.
Absolutely. And that's what Valentin and Ryan do so well, whether it be Dave, whether it be this. I mean, there was so much. People, I'm going to suggest to you right now, go back and read Dave and Dave 2, because I forget which one. I think it's either Dave or Dave 1 or Dave 2. I forget which one it is, but one of them, basically, Hillary's president, so.
That's the second one, I believe.
I think so, yeah. So the dildo pigs arrest Costello.
Well, because he broke the law, he let Teddy leave.
Yeah,
and that's again let him out of hell, and so that's like the biggest no. So he's having to go to the pit. The pit. Yep. Okay, if you're in a different area of hell called the pit, it can't be good.
I don't think there's any Lazarus in there. There's no Ra's al Ghul. So Teddy visits his grave, and he actually lays in his, or he lays. Where is he? Is he laying in the grave? How is that?
He's in his own grave, which he just came out of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he's wanting to die, but he doesn't know how. Yeah. So.
Yeah. What the hell are you yelling at? Hey, look, it's Imogen.
Oh yeah, I like her.
She's awesome. So they are going to try this this book thing again.
Yeah, because that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest no. She stole the book, which has all the spells and yeah, that could get her. That could make them normal. So.
Yeah, could. And Cassius is trying to plead with God. Oh, hell no. I've already let one of you out of my sights. Look where that got us. Nuh-uh, nope. I just love the language Ferrier uses in these comics. It's just so fun. And this is the panel coming up where the guy in the background gets hit in the face.
Oh yeah, back in heaven.
Yes. Oh god. So she wants to basically fix this because technically it is all her fault, and God's he's not hearing it. We go back to Hell, and God is now down there with Satan, and they're having their meeting that they said they wanted to have, and basically deciding on how and why and all this stuff with the second coming and whatever else. And God's like, is there anything I can say to, just have you not do this? And obviously there's nothing he can say. Once again, the art. Oh, so good. Absolutely love it. And just like the panel where Satan says, God, come on, my hands are tied here. This is scripture. I'm not a rule breaker. You know that.
I like that. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that page, that panel right there with the whole art thing, with how Valentin has them center stage but blocked out in white light almost. And then all the darkness around them, just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, this is not a dinner party I want to go to.
No. There's no Tupperware to be sold here, folks. So we go back to the bridge, and Imogen and Teddy have a whole conversation here. And it basically ends up with her saying, I wish I never met you, Cracker Jack.
I really like that. Good nickname. That's a cool nickname.
And this is kind of where issue 4 ends, where Imogen says, I mean, unless you can absolve your sins somehow or leave Earth or stop the goddamn second coming, you'd have better luck kissing God in the mouth. Imogen, you're brilliant. I'm gonna do them all. Raises his fist in the air and punches the head off of a dove. Talk about when doves try.
Well, when he was jumping off the bridge, he also killed another bird.
Yeah, that's true.
He fell on top of one. Oops. No luck.
Yeah. Yeah, so hot damn number 4. I enjoyed it. I think I almost might have enjoyed it if I read all 5 like back to back to back, even though we're only doing 4 and 5. I mean, I enjoyed the issue. I was caught up. I was fine because I did look at like I said, I did look at the end of issue 3. I like where the story's going. Basically, all-out war, somebody trying to stop the war, and then Teddy's kind of in the middle here trying to figure out how he can save his own ass as well as save the world. What are your overall thoughts of issue 4?
I really like this because it's the consequence issue. Everyone has a consequence here.
Right.
You mostly see it with Teddy, because he has the consequence of getting out of hell. Imogen taking the book, but also the consequence of Lucifer and God playing games with Earth, heaven and hell, So you see that all the consequences are coming together, and I kind of like that, And the scene with the bridge was, like I said, it was just one page, but for some reason it stuck with me. I really liked it.
Yeah, and again, this whole series, as you said, this issue is mainly about consequences of people's actions. And I want to reiterate, for people that have not heard our first 3 episodes reviewing the first 3 issues, first of all, please go back and listen to all those. Second of all, this is not Ferrier and Ramon sitting here telling you what to believe in.
Oh, I hope not.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's good and there's evil out there, and yes, they do use God and Satan and just the general, I guess you could say King James version, I guess. I don't know. Just the whole thing, but they themselves, Ryan himself even told us when we interviewed him, he didn't set out to just, have everyone question their own beliefs. That's not what the point of the story is. The point of the story is redemption all the way through.
And that's what I really like about this story. Because I have no problem saying this. I'm a very religious person, but I find this story very intriguing. Because there's so many what ifs, what's going to happen? And that's what I really enjoy it.
Absolutely. What would you rate 0 to 5 stars for issue 4?
Oh, geez. I should have thought this through. Oh. There's so much. I'm so glad that he got back with his wife, too. Oh, I mean, even though it didn't work out,
Yeah.
The G.I. Joe reference is awesome.
And no, it's half the battle.
Well, I just like the whole consequence. For some reason, this issue just spoke to me for some reason. I don't know why. It was just when he's sitting there in his grave just yelling, like, what am I supposed to do? We've all had those days, So
yeah.
I'm giving this a 4, just because it spoke to me in so many ways.
Yeah, I'm also going to give it a 4. Like you said, we've all had those moments of whether we're laying in bed in a fetal position, or where, in my case, there were several times when, so my mom passed away last year. Most people already know this, but last year my mom passed away, and this was before they started construction on the what do they call those stupid things now? The smoke shops, the newfangled stuff. Oh, the vapor shops. That's what it is.
Okay.
So
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
The construction on the new liquor store and vapor shop, the smoking vapor shop that was behind where my complex was at the time, had not yet fully started. Mm-hmm. there was the outlines of new foundation and whatever else, and they transformed the old Meineke garage into a smoke shop and something else. I don't know, whatever. So before this all happened, it was basically just a giant parking lot with one building.
Mm-hmm.
And there were several times during the day where if I was walking to or from the store, I would just stop. And this was, like I said, right after my mom died last May. I would just stop in the middle of that parking lot and just scream my head off just to get the frustration out from everything that was going on and whatever else. And all as I can equate it to is I know at some point in their career, Tears for Fears went to scream therapy for their single shout.
No.
That song, Shout. Yeah, they actually went to scream therapy. I would love to go to scream therapy. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's something I could get behind.
Yeah. So as I said, I'm also going to give issue 4 a 4 as well out of 5. Issue number 5. Here's the final final issue of this miniseries. Here we open up with Imogen and Teddy, and she's going to use the spell, and she basically says, "Hey, yeah, but there's a warning," and he's like, "At this point, I don't care if we turn into literal buttholes." Now, when he says this, I was really hoping that Ryan would have written it a slightly different term. I wish he would have used butt horns to reference Dave.
Oh, that would have been so awesome.
That would have been so awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So she does the spell, and this brings Teddy back to his normal self.
I like this. Teddy's got almost a little bit of happiness. He's literally gone through hell and back.
Yeah.
So he deserves something good. I'm glad to see it.
Yep, absolutely. And this whole thing reminds me of the end of the Looney Tunes short, where this whole beginning of the issue here about him returning back to the way he was. Reminds me of that Looney Tunes short where Bugs and Daffy are trying to upstage each other. Well, obviously Daffy's trying to upstage Bugs, and everybody applauds for Bugs. When Daffy comes out, it's nothing but silence, and he goes in and says, "Girls, grab your boyfriends, a little bit of nitroglycerin and this and that," and he drinks the whole thing, and he's in a devil suit, and he explodes, and he goes up to heaven, and they all clap and cheer and whatever else, and Bugs is like, "Daffy, they loved it. They want to see more." Yeah, but the bitch of it is he doesn't say bitch, but he says, "Yeah, but I can only do it once."
I love it. Love it.
So as Teddy becomes a hologram again, I blame you, Ferrier. Too many graham cracker jokes. As he becomes whole again, we have hell on earth. We have Satan and God and everybody coming down, and the war is going to start, and we have this nice little interaction between Teddy and Imogen about how she's not sticking around. He needs to, she even says, "Sucks when people only think of themselves, but that's the way the graham cracker crumbles."
I loved it. Loved it.
So Satan comes down on high, and Teddy realizes, "Oh crap, I gotta do something about this." We go up to heaven, and we have we have God's army getting ready to go downstairs, which is interesting. And Cassius tries one more time to get him to let her go down there, and he's like, "No, that's all right." And she says, "Well, we're friggin' fricked. I heard that." As we go back to hell, we have more of Costello here in the pit, which is
gosh.
Poor Costello.
I like Costello. I actually think he's probably my favorite character of this whole series. And I feel sorry for him.
Yeah. So since he and Asta kind of got together, because Asta is the horn demon, the red horn demon here, that's talking to the goat in the previous panel.
Mm-hmm.
If she's Asta and he's Costello, does that technically make her Abbott?
I kind of picked that up before. And I was just like, okay, got that.
And we go to a news bulletin, which, okay. That's interesting. We have one of those.
Well, I mean, if it's the end of the world, if the second is coming, it's gonna make the news.
Yeah, that's very true. And we have reporters on the scene and everything else. And what does he say? He says, "Where is it? Is it in this panel?" There's one. Oh no, it's the panel earlier when Satan first comes up when he's like, don't Snapchat, Snapchat, Insta, tweet, whatever. Just stay back or whatever it was. And then God shows up, and the war begins.
They first were just gonna play rock paper scissors. I really thought that was pretty funny. I really like that part.
Flip a coin or something. Let's just do it. Come on, big tough guy, do something. And he basically bitch slaps him. You. And the all-out war begins. And you've got people on either side saying this is better than the racetrack. Yeah, kick his ass, God. Oh, this is just so funny.
I just think that I think God and Lucifer is just having fun, and then it's just like
yeah. All throughout this battle, Teddy is looking for Maria.
Yeah.
Since he is now human again. And he does eventually
find... Human again.
Huh?
Oh, that's the Beauty and the Beast song.
Oh. I'm too young for that.
Beauty and the Beast?
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Whatever.
Sadly, I remember Beauty and the Rock Promoter more. Because it's Greg Berger as the Beast.
No, that's true. That's pretty funny.
So Teddy does find Maria, and he's basically going to get the hell out of there. Pun intended, folks. And, he's trying to convince her and basically saying that he wants to save her, not himself. And then Adriel shows up, and more than hell breaks loose, I would say.
Yeah, he's not the nicest of guys, is he?
No, not at all. So what are you thinking so far reading this final issue up to this point of where Teddy's finding Maria and then Adriel comes in?
I was really glad that Maria got to see Teddy back in his normal form, because that's got to be really painful for her to have her last image of her husband the way that he was.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that God and Lucifer aren't taking this war seriously until a third party shows up. Sound familiar?
Yeah, that's true. We all need that third party voice at some point. Honestly, it'd probably be better if Perot came out of exile.
We're not going into politics.
You know the sad thing is, in 1992 or 1993, we had a class election. Perot won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you imagine what this country would be like now if that actually happened in real? Anyway, back to Hale.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So Adriel, God, and the devil, or Satan, are all having a discussion here, and basically God is saying, "No, you screwed this up. him basically saying, this living room is mine, I was here first, and blah, blah, blah. Basically, I called shotgun. And he's basically exploding everybody's heads.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Okay, how are you going to repopulate the world if all the heads are blown off?
Well, see, those are. Well, I would like to think that's just the people that are in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, let's hope. And Costello gets up there and he's got this kick-ass sword thing and he's ready to fight and he's basically gonna kill Teddy because Teddy screwed his life up essentially. Which I think Costello's life was screwed up before Teddy got there.
Yeah.
I think Costello would have made bad choices regardless.
I agree.
And we have the panel where God says, "You crazy? No friggin' way! That's hard. That's a hard pass. This realm is insane." Hey God, are you pondering what I'm pondering? I think so, Satan.
Oh yeah. Good old Pinky and the Brain reference.
The question is, which is which?
Well, the one that says, "Are you pondering what I'm pondering?" would be with the brain.
Yeah, I know.
So...
Oh wow, Satan is the brain is Satan. Wow, yikes! That puts a whole new light on God and religion, folks. If God is Pinky.
Well, God is definitely Pinky in this book, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Cassius does come down, asks Adriel to stop. We go back to Costello, and he's basically lost his marbles.
I think everyone's lost it at this point, don't you think?
Well, yeah, and what is that sword made of?
Well,
like,
it's like an engine block or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so Costello says, or Maria says, he will protect us. He will cast you out. Talking about Adriel, and Costello just laughs at that, and Teddy says, Maria, move. He saves her, and Costello stabs him. Looking at Costello stabbing Teddy with the sword, looking at the hilt of that sword, it's some sort of engine block with...
Yeah.
Is that a 426 Hemi on there? I don't know.
It's a massive engine block.
Yeah, that's... So Teddy dies again, but in this instance he died saving Maria, so that's going to be interesting later. We have Cassius and Adriel basically trying to figure this all out, and she kisses him again, and then she kills him. Somebody cue up YouTube. Hold me, thrill me, kiss me, kill me. Somebody cue up Mr. Freeze, actually.
Well, the thing is...
Yes?
The thing is why Cassius had to do this is because that was God's trump card. If God was not going to come out alive, Cassius was going to replace him. The thing is, I think she has more smarts than God.
Well, if God is Pinky, I hope she's... Wait. So if God's Pinky, she's technically Hello Nurse. And Adriel is Ralph the Guard.
God.
I'm sorry, folks. I know we're perverting the hell out of Animaniacs here, but we just can't help it.
Oh, come on. You go back and watch that show. It's perverted already.
It just hit Netflix a few months ago. I spent, I don't know, 2.5 weeks watching all 99 episodes. Love that show. So Cassius kills Adriel. This essentially cancels the apocalypse. And I love Asta and Costello here. So it was you I saw during the offense. Good to know I'm not going crazy. Couldn't be love or anything dumb like that. No,
Yeah.
seeing someone when they're not there, missing them. No, not at all.
I like that. I like the sarcasm there. Love
Yeah,
it.
that's awesome. So let's see. So we have a scene between Maria and Teddy because Teddy is still dying, and she does forgive him. And what does that? Oh, dead is not the. Oh, death is not the end. It's
the sign. You're talking about the sign.
Yeah, the sign.
Yeah, dead is not the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So we go back to Hell, and we go back to group, and we've got the group with almost everybody there.
Yeah, so it goes. It's kind of like a recycle of when he first went to Hell.
Yep. And I was kind of expecting Teddy to show up here when I saw that they're back in group.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking for him, like, what's going on here, you know?
Yeah. So we got Satan in his office with all his things, and things are kind of going back to normal. We go to Earth, and Maria's praying in church, and we've got the monologue where Teddy says, I completely, well, what does he says before this? He says, so long as I can never outgrow that lying, cheating, selfish asshole. I completely see that now. That's the kicker. I know who I am. And God damn it, by my own volition, I can choose to be better. And we run into Imogen, and this is where the G.I. Joe...
this is where the G.I. Joe one is. Sorry.
No, it's half the battle.
Yeah.
And we go up to heaven, and we see that Cassius has, no, she hasn't taken over.
No, she is she's been promoted. Remember, God gave
her. Oh yeah, okay, so no, but okay, but the way that it's. Okay, I misunderstood this at first. When we go to heaven and it's the monologue, oh, you wanted to see me, God? Cadbury, yeah, get on in here. It's Cassius. Yeah, I'm God, I know. He's basically promoting her to Metatron, basically the voice of God.
Yeah.
The only person I've ever known to ever play the voice of God, may the man rest in peace, Alan Rickman in Dogma.
Oh, you've never seen Supernatural, then?
Not all of it, no. I've seen bits and pieces.
Curtis Armstrong plays Metatron. Love him. Love Curtis Armstrong. So great.
So she gets promoted to be the voice of God, and he even gives her free pizza.
And she's so happy about that. I love it.
This is the best day of my life.
Doesn't like free pizza, really. Come on.
Okay. So we get to, I guess, God's hot tub. I don't know where the hell that is. And she's about to train the latest recruit, whose name is Lazarus. And surprise, no more fucking cookie.
Well, I just think it's fitting that his name is Lazarus. You know?
Yeah. And so yeah, Teddy gets a happy ending, which is very rare that certain people get happy endings in comics.
I mean, I'm pretty sure both God and Lucifer, like, yeah, he did some stuff for us.
I love this ending. I think this is great. I think it was kind of inevitable that they were going to have to get rid of Adriel, obviously, since he was the whole problem from the beginning. But I just really, really enjoyed this. I thought this was great. Teddy got to make up for his past sins and all that, and Maria forgave him, and he can now live his life in paradise, I guess you could say, or his afterlife.
Yep.
I don't know, you know. I think this comic would be good for, I don't want to say anyone who's questioning their beliefs, but anyone who wants their beliefs basically turned upside down.
I wouldn't say that because, like I said, I'm a pretty religious person. It didn't turn my beliefs upside down.
Well, no, but okay, but I'm saying that. Okay, so I'm trying to think how to word this without insulting the audience or you. Which I know insulting you, it takes a lot. As a very religious person, when I first told you about this and when we first talked to Ryan about it, did your religious beliefs come into this at all when you first heard about the overall series or as you were reading it or any of that, or did you just take the story in stride?
No, I mean, I was interested to see what it was about. I'm a person that I've studied many religions in my life. I'm one of those people that I find it fascinating, and I like to hear other people's views about it. And so this was like, okay, let's see what Ryan's views are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I know what I believe. It's going to take a lot for you guys, for anyone to change that, because I'm very stable with my belief system. So to me, this was just seeing another person's point of view of what heaven, hell, and the dogma is like. So no, I don't have a problem with it. I don't care seeing God's penis, but that's okay.
I'm sure.
But you turn the page, you get over it.
Angels are supposed to be ill-equipped. I'm sorry, folks. The whole time we've been reading this series over the last few months and doing the podcast episodes, because it's the most, I would say, the most religious comedy I've seen is Dogma. Basically poking fun at the whole thing in general was Kevin Smith's Dogma. So that most of my jokes in this series have come from that, and the fact that where in the movie Bethany's like, please don't rape me. I couldn't rape you even if I wanted to. Angels are ill-equipped. What? And of course he de-pantses himself and there's nothing there.
He's a Ken doll.
Michael Keaton, eat your heart out. Overall, this series has just been so fun. I think we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna compose our thoughts, come back with final rating, close the show, all that stuff. We'll be back after this.
Because the world needs another movie podcast.
The Geekcast Radio Network presents for your listening pleasure the Cinema Geek.
Hosted by Amanda, Kevin, Matt, and Dan.
Each week we dive headfirst in the landscape of movies as we discuss movie news, play movie games,
go in-depth on reviews,
and even have a top 10 countdown or two.
Also, don't miss our director retrospective series, where we review noted directors' movies film by film. Bottom line is, if you love movies and love podcasts, you need to experience the Cinema Geeks.
You can find us on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, or GeekCastRadio.com.
By the power of Grayskull, I command the jaw bridge. Open!
The Powers of Grayskull series will cover every episode of all 4 Masters of the Universe cartoons. Join Optimus Solo and myself, TF2 and Mike, as we tell tales of Eternia, discover the myths of Etheria, become masters in space, and finally masters of Grayskull. We'll have a commentary on the Secret of the Sword film, and a few other special episodes. You can find this 125-episode-long podcast in iTunes and on the web at geekcastradio.com. By the power and honor of Grayskull, we all have the power.
Yeah, I hope I didn't miss anything exciting.
Now for a behind-the-scenes look at Geekcast Radio Network's newest show, Talking in Circles.
So, Chuck, Greg, what are you guys thinking for this week's show?
Well, Dan, how about we just talk about the things that we've read or watched this week?
We do reviews like that every week, Chuck. How about a game like Fact or Fiction or The Power of Names?
Those are great, and we're always coming up with new ideas for games. And how about some top fives? You know how I love my top fives.
What about tournament-style brackets, or sequel, reboot, and destroy? Who will win in a fight? Taking too far? Crazy but true news? Or
yes, it appears we have lots of things to work on.
Listen to Talking in Circles, taking timeless topics in new directions. Every Tuesday on iTunes or GeekCastRadio.com, the Geekcast Radio Network.
Hey, Dan, who's the guy with the creepy voice?
I know what we're doing today.
Okay, Michael, if we're going to tackle this podcast thing, we've got to do something really special. It has to be cool, daily, in audio form, and undetectable by radar. Something that screams summer. I know, let's do a Phineas and Ferb review podcast. We'll call it the Podcast Organization Without a Cool Acronym, or POWCA for short. What do you think?
I think if we're not careful, Candace is going to bust us.
You can find POWCA on the Geekcast Radio Network, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and all of the other methods you find podcasts.
Okay, then. Carry on.
All right, folks, we are back here inside the pull bag to wrap up Hot Damn number 5. What are you going to give it, 0 to 5?
0 to 5. Okay, let me... I should have gone back and read the first couple issues. But I remember I really liked the first issue, just the whole concept of the demons being therapists. And like I said, I really enjoyed the Hale parts. I don't know, it just was like, oh, this is quite interesting.
Heaven Heaven took a little time to get used to.
Yeah, it did. The angel wings were definitely different. The looks, because to me, Hale definitely looked more pleasing overall, besides the food. Than Heaven.
No.
So I mean, to me, Heaven in this comic book's like Hale, but with light. I don't know, but no, I overall really enjoyed it. That's a tough one. I guess I'll go ahead and give it. I'll give it a 4 because I really did enjoy it. A 4 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 4.5. Issue 5 came around very nicely. It didn't wrap up too quickly. We got plenty of the war between Satan and God. I thought that was really great. And just that ending, just the way it ended, and Teddy actually got a happy ending.
I really did like that. Yeah.
So I'll give it a 4.5. Overall, the whole series, issues 1 through 5... I gotta give it a 5.
Oh, I thought that we were doing the whole series. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, that's good to give the whole series a 4. So.
Oh, okay. There you go. I gotta give the whole series a 5 because I just think it's something unique. It's something that no other publisher other than IDW would ever let happen.
Oh, no. There's some other independent ones that could do that.
I'm sure, but. IDW is the one they went with. Thank God. Pun intended. Where can the people find you online?
Find me online by just Googling BeatlesDiva. That's Beatles like the band, not the bug. Find me. Yeah.
Coming up next on the pull bag, Steve Megatron and I are going to go to Neo Gotham, and we're going to be talking about the first 2 issues in a long-running series that we're going to be starting for the 2015 Dan Jurgens written, Bernard Chang drawn art Batman Beyond book from DC. So that's going to be coming up next week. After that, Nicole and I will be back to talk. We're going to finally wrap up Kennel Block Blues, also from Ryan Ferrier. Mm-hmm. We're going to wrap that up with issues 3 and 4 in 2 weeks from now. So that's what's going on with the Pullbag. You can find the Pullbag on Twitter at the Pullbag or over on Facebook, facebook.com/the-Pullbag. I believe you can also find Geekcast Radio Network over on Facebook. I am on Twitter at TFG and Mike. Anything else you want to bring up before we get out of here?
No, not really.
Oh.
I have nothing
It's usually
going
filled
on.
with comedy gold folks, and you put her on the spot and nothing.
I have nothing in my life. It's pretty boring,
Not even that purple-haired boyfriend Rio you love so much.
Oh, don't no. Comic book Rio, maybe.
Maybe. All right, make your great escape in the comics, and we will catch you next time, folks.
Aloha.
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pullback, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you are leaving the message for, and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geekcast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at GeekCastRadio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.